a little bit of
Peekaboo.
of the Civil War. So the athletic director of my fine institution has decided to crawl out of his multi-million-dollar cave and say, everything's great. I listen to the fans. It's perfect. We got the right guy.
It's a pretty nice cave if it's a multi-million-dollar cave.
Oh, he's got a
Probably
good
got some cool features in there.
He's got it set in courthouse.
Race car bed, all sorts of stuff.
And he crawled out of his cave and he was like, hey, guys, everything's great. It's fantastic. Got the right coach. And even though we kind of all know how the result is going to go, if you're going to say that publicly the week of this game, don't we need in some form or manner, he has to have some evidence in some way, correct?
Of progress, of improvement, of punt. Can you punt? Can you long snap? Can you long snap this week?
Well, look, everybody on this show, just for the record going into it, is loudly telling you it's going to be a blowout, as we have said all week, and how this, like, I've had people reach out to me this week I haven't talked to in a minute, just like, dude, it's dead. And it's been on both sides. I've had Duck and Beaver fan. I had a diehard Duck fan to me yesterday ask where I was going to watch the game, and I have my youngest's soccer game is literally starting at the same time, so I'm like balancing. Do I DVR? Do I watch on my phone and go back and rewatch the? I know how it's going to go, and they're like, I'm going to catch the first quarter. And this is somebody that never misses this game. This game matters to them, but it's like, I catch first quarter, and then I got stuff to do, and that was whoa, okay. Yeah. And so I'm just asking, if your athletic director is coming out the week of the game, even when we know you're going to lose, you better damn well show that athletic director knows what he's talking about, even though nobody believes him when he says it.
Yeah, and that's where I think, moral victories don't exist when you're, 1-10 in your last 11 games or 1-9 in your last 10 or whatever, but at least you're looking for small signs of life. You're looking for small signs of improvement, and that's what was so discouraging about the game at Texas Tech. We all assumed you were going to lose that game. We all assumed it would be probably in the end in blowout fashion. It was on your opening possession, you have a procedural penalty on the first play of the game. It's still not being able to long snap. Yeah. It's giving up 3rd and 20 plays and conversions for touchdowns when you got guys that are jogging after the football. Like, those are little simple things that you can control. Now, you can't control at this point that you're playing teams who are more talented than you and who will likely beat you. But you can't control your effort. You can't control procedural stuff. You can control the ability after 3 weeks to find somebody who can long snap normally to a punter, to not give the ball to the opponent at midfield. Like, all of those little things, if they don't happen again, I don't know how anybody is clinging to the idea that they know what they're doing and this is going to get any better. Like, you're probably going to get blown out this weekend. I think we all assume that's going to be the case. It doesn't mean you have to play incompetent, boneheaded football for 4 quarters and look like you don't belong and you're unprepared. It's one thing to not belong. It's another thing to be unprepared. And that's been the most alarming thing of the last 2 weeks, is they also look unprepared. And when you lack talent and you're unprepared, that's a really bad combination. It's the primary reason they're 0-3.
Yeah, I think that's the tough part for me, is like, I'm when you stack the talent against it, it's like, yeah, it's obviously
like if Oregon shows up and plays their A game, this is not a contest.
No.
Then there's the idea in the back of your head of, like, I have had this linger for me. I assume the game's going to be a blowout, but I've thought about it with the Apple Cup as well. Like, they have massive games next weekend. Mm-hmm. Washington is hosting the defending national champions at home, with an opportunity for a massive win under Jed. That's a massive game at Husky Stadium.
And both their opponents, by the way, just coincidentally coming off buys.
And Oregon's going on the road to Penn State, which is unquestionably the biggest game of their season. And, like, you're playing rivals, yes. In the Washington one, at least they have the anger of losing the game last year.
Yes.
And on Oregon's side, you would say, well, they're upset about the way they performed last week, so they're going to want to try and improve on that. But human nature is human nature, man. Like, you cannot tell me a locker room of 18 to 22-year-olds are not thinking about how big next week is, and do you come in and take your eye off the ball early?
Well, see, that yesterday when we did the big pack picks, that was the only reason I took points. It wasn't like a belief in, I'm going to take the side of the underdog because I went there.
Yeah.
It was literally like, what if it's 28-0 first quarter, and by the time they shout, it's 47-3. Yeah, dude. 4th string. Pack it in.
I mean, they scored 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter against Texas Tech last week.
Yes, and so that Malik Murphy will be on the field probably, and I text my buddy because, like, what do you think he scored? I went back and I said the same score I told you guys, 52-17. And it's 10-52, But with 40 seconds left, Malik Murphy throws a garbage-ass touchdown, and nobody cares.
No.
It doesn't change
Stadium's
the
half
opinions.
empty at that point.
Right.
Nobody's watching the game anymore, but yeah.
And that was the only reason I said that, was because I do agree Lanning wants to clean up. I do agree that the rush defense, Oregon State can't run the ball anyway, but like that rush defense is probably going to have a goal of make them have negative yards outside of the sack numbers. And so, yeah, I think they come out strong. I think they play strong most of the way. And then they get to the point where it's like, we have Penn State. Everything we saw on film, we knew you guys would be. We handled our business. It's time to let the scrubs play, or the true freshmen, and then we'll move on to Penn State.
Yeah, I'm not going to give you any flowers if you come out and play, competent, penalty-free football and you can punt. But at least it would be a sign of things got slightly better from last week to this week. Even if the score is what we think the score is going to be, there are things that you should be able to clean up after 3 weeks of working on them.
Yes.
And if you still can't do it, there's no more evidence that you should need, and how anybody will continue to defend it will be baffling to me.
I would add, I think that is something to point to, is like, what if they go penalty-free? It's like, oh, look at that. They
look. I'm not going to argue.
Up,
I'm not going to argue. It means that you should keep your job, because I still think you're incompetent. But at least it will be something to say. All right, that one area got better.
Yeah.
Now, can you go beat Houston on a Friday night?
No.
Probably not. But at least you showed progress in one area.
And it would be, I think, if they lose, it's 1-10 in the last 11.
I believe so.
So you're a game away. The Houston game would give you a full season.
A full season of 1-11 football if you are to lose that game. Even if you win it 2-10 ain't very good.
Not great.